Right, certainly. I think, there's no silver bullet when it comes to, trying to crack the code to, interact with the Japanese companies, right? Even like, if you, try to define Japanese companies, there's, there are so many of them, and, the culture and so like the way they operate are totally different. I think it really boils down to case by case scenarios. However, one thing maybe I can note is that when you interact with the Japanese customers, especially at the senior level, I think if you show the respect, I mean it's universal, of course, but then there's a stronger emphasis when it comes to dealing with the Japanese customers, like respect, just being respectful of the culture, respectful of how they work, right? Like you probably realize there's a lot of inefficiencies in how one particular group operates. However, instead of identifying improving areas, maybe you can start off with having empathy. Why try to understand why things are the way how they are, right? It's easy to try to provide solutions to it, but then maybe it's important to step back, try to understand the situation they're in, why it led to how they work today. And by understanding that, maybe you can start to see some of the rationales and try to provide a helpful hands to some of the companies there. And by doing that, the Japanese senior executives also appreciate you spending the energy and effort trying to understand their business and try to provide solutions, right? Really like. So first step is really to listen to what their really underlying issues are, because oftentimes you gotta really you gotta start to peel maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 layers to really uncover the rooting issues, right? They can cover like the really vague answers if you try to have a straight answers, and sometimes it's a little bit frustrating from a Westerners culture. But then, it just requires patience, and then you really need to be in the listening mode and try to uncover one layer, and then you start to find out the real rooting cause for the business challenges, and and then you start providing. Then I think you have a permission to lean in to solve the problem, right? So establishing the relationship is very important. I think it's universal, but again, it's very important in the Japanese culture. So if you're able to do that, and then there's a lot of emerging cloud technology that can help support do that. With respect to communication, when you have a language barrier, there's a translation services via the cloud. So leverage that technology, and then just have try to be transparent on both sides, and then you should have a successful engagement with the Japanese customers.